Back in 2017, a movie called Wonder, based on a book by children's author R.J. Palacio, told the story of a child with facial differences. Auggie builds up his confidence thanks to the kindness of various teachers and pupils at the school. Now, back then, kindness was simply a good thing rather than the universal panacea it seems to have become.
I know I'm not an ordinary 10-year-old kid. Then again, no one's ordinary.
Auggie can't change the way he looks. So, maybe we can change the way we see.
Since then, there have been several spin-off books about young Auggie, his friends, and in the case of White Bird, his school nemesis Julian. Julian was sent to a new school, and one day his French grandma comes to visit, Dame Helen Mirren no less.
Tell me about this new school of yours.
Right now, I'm just trying to fit in. It's kind of been my motto ever since I left my old school.
Julien, you did not leave your old school. You were expelled for being cruel to another boy.
Grandma cuts right to the chase. Julian has some life lessons to learn, possibly involving the K word. She takes him back to her own youth when she was a young Jewish girl in a village occupied by the Nazis.
I'm sure your father has told you stories about when I was a young girl.
He says you don't really like to talk about it.
I don't. But now, I think, for your sake, I must.
At school, Sarah Bloom is one of the popular kids. She does well in class, she loves to draw, often pictures of her friends. She certainly has very little to do with the weird kid, also called Julian, who's often teased because he limps as a polio victim.
Excuse me.
Oh God, what is he doing?
I saw this on your desk.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I didn't even know his name.
Now, I'm not sure if you're spotting the fact that this is a good opportunity to be kind, though it's a test Sarah doesn't really pass. She's too smitten by the glamorous Vincent, who's about to reveal Feet of Clay.
Look at this freak.
But we had in common one crucial thing.
These are really good. For a Jew.
We had both seen how much hate people are capable of.
And it soon becomes clear that being kind is bad for your health. The German army decides to round up all the Jews at the school. The teachers try to hide them, but there are people more than willing to turn them in. Am I thinking of Vincent here?
They were taken away by the teachers. They're still on the ground somewhere.
Thank you, young man. Your teachers could learn from your example. Find them!
Sarah manages to get away, but it's only a matter of time before she's caught. And then young Julian steps up and offers to help. His family farm is nearby, though it's surrounded by possible Nazi informants.
One of the children's missing. Find them!
And how much courage it took to be kind.
You need to come with me right now. I know a way out.
So Sarah, like many Jews in occupied Europe, finds herself in a new permanent home, the attic of Julian's barn, for nearly 2 years. And the only connection she has with the outside world are Julian and his parents.
You stay with us, okay? When in dark times, those small things remind us of our humanity.
So Sarah decides the only way to retain her sanity in her confined space is to travel. If she can't actually go anywhere, she and Julian will have to find another way to see the world. There's an old car in the barn, she's got a vivid imagination, and the increasingly love-struck Julian will do whatever she says.
The flower shops. Julian.
You really want me to say yes, don't you?
It's only fun if you try. The world of reality has its limits. The world of imagination is boundless. Keep trying.
Now, if you're a certain age, or indeed several certain ages, you may think White Bird is a familiar tale that hardly needs retelling, surely. But as the years go by, there are growing numbers of younger people who aren't certain ages, for whom the story of the Nazi occupation of countries like France needs to be told again and again.
I was never very nice to you. that you're strong. You're the bravest person I've ever met.
At the end of White Bird, when Helen Mirren's grandma has put the modern Julian right, there's unavoidable sniffing into handkerchiefs, even among people who should know better. But what they're affected by isn't the cruelty visited on the weak and helpless. That's almost commonplace today.
You forget many things in life, but you never forget kindness. Because when kindness can cost you your life, it becomes like a miracle.
It's the rather rarer decency offered by people with nothing to gain from it. They did it because it was the right thing to do. And that's something increasingly uncommon, it seems. Strange, as Sir Noel Coward once said, how potent cheap music is. And I suppose you could say the same about a sentimental kid-alt movie.